sustainability and heritage. Now, those are the priorities of this year's Archifest, which aims to celebrate good design. The month-long festival starts today and will feature over 100 physical and online events. For more, we're joined by Festival Director and Landscape Architect Razvan Ghilic-Micu and Jonathan Pope, Principal Architect at Provolk and a building conservationist. First to you, Razvan, sustainability and heritage in focus this year. How will those two themes be played out at the festival?
Oh, that's a very good question. Thank you. Well, I think for those who are not familiar with Archifest, Archifest is Singapore's main architecture festival organized by the SIA. And that's not the airline, it is the Singapore Institute of Architects. And this year's theme, Design Evidence, is really encouraging all of us to reflect on our process, our values, the knowledge that we and our related disciplines bring to the table, to reflect on the responsibility and reframe the responsibility that we have as designers. So if you really think about it, the future of design is multidisciplinary. So the festival is really trying to find, uncover, and discover the evidence wherever it may be, whether we're talking about heritage or we're talking about landscape, sustainability, arts, culture, community, inclusivity. These are all integral parts of how designers and how architects work. So we felt it is our duty to take people on a journey of discovery, very similar to how architects work with the facts that we have in front of us, and how we create something out of those facts to project into the future and design a better world.
Yeah, Razvan, lots of talk about sustainability in recent times. How has this shift affected the work of landscape architects like yourself?
Well, I would like to see the different disciplines that being quite hand in hand in the way we blend the knowledge that we have. So in my studio, we work in architecture, landscape architecture, and interior design. And we see this blurring of boundaries not only in the way we work, but also in recent projects. If you think about the Marina East desalination plant, suddenly you have a quite tremendous piece of infrastructure interfacing with urban design, with landscape, with architecture, and eventually becoming a beloved public space for the people of Singapore. So I think what we are realizing increasingly is that we have to move away from siloed thinking, and I think that addresses the way that architects, landscape architects, and many other designers work, and really look at how we can bring our knowledge together to create something entirely new that none of us would have been able to come up with in isolation. So I invite everyone to come out and see the different events, but also maybe look at the conference that we have scheduled this year, where the different speakers, one of whom is the president of the Singapore Institute of Landscape Architects, is looking at greenery not as decor, as a lot of people are sometimes led to believe, but looking at the impact it has and something that is truly beneficial in ways that are quantifiable and ways that are truly go beyond the green image that we project and look at sustainability as performance. How do we assess it? How do we KPI it, and how do we improve it?
That's a great point. And maybe to you, Jonathan, next. The festival also wants to bring in this whole area of heritage in architecture. And then you also want to talk about the narrative of digitalization. Can you draw a line between those two for us?
I think for this year's Archifest, when you talk about heritage, we could not forget people, right? Because heritage is actually about communities. So for this year's theme, for at least the heritage portion of it, we are going to focus on communities, and that's why we got tours such as Ghilic Adventures and My Community, where we focus on tours that goes through the alleyways, the streets of Geylang, allowing people to actually experience, the actual livelihood of people living in these areas. And even in My Community tours, we also bring people through HDB estates such as Tanglin Hall, Red Hill, as well as Tiong Bahru. Now, these are physical events, but of course, beyond that, in this kind of digital age, I think people are taking to videos as well. So we have a collaboration with URA where we showcase short documentaries done by students from the polytechnics and institutions. We also have a collaboration with a very quirky outfit called Chengdu Family. They are a video content creator coming from Sichuan, Chengdu, and they bring to us a Chinese lens of how they view communities in Singapore through short videos and films. So I think this year we're very happy that they're going to do a very new film about People's Park. And it's very interesting because, as you know, People's Park is actually a place for a place where many Chinese nationals do hang out. So it's very interesting to see People's Park through the lens of a China national about heritage. So I think these are the things that's already up on our virtual exhibition platform on our website. So do encourage everyone to come take a look.
And Jonathan, in relation to heritage conservation, how can the balance be achieved or struck between practicality and innovation?
Well, I think this kind of balance always have to come through education. In my work as in advocacy, I've started to learn that advocacy is actually about creating awareness, right? So, and in order to create awareness, you have to allow people to understand, to have the knowledge and the information about the built environment, about the heritage that they're seeing, right? So for this year, I think one of these advocacy programs that we have is about Haw Par Villa, right? As you all know, I think Haw Par Villa has been around us for a very long time, right? For a while, it was called Dragon World. Then after that, got torn down. It went through so many changes, and then to today, I think somehow it got forgotten. So this year, we tied up with the Singapore Heritage Society, where we'll do a screening of The Last Artisan. It's this film about this man who is the last artisan who is maintaining the park, and his whole family actually stayed in the park before, right? So this will be followed by the panel discussion where we have the daughter of the last artisan who was also living in that park for that period of time. Where she will actually share about experiences living in the place and also about the anecdotes and stories about her family growing up in the park. And of course, another guest that we have on our panel, we have Jonathan Lim, renowned theatre director in Singapore. Interestingly, he actually developed a game app to navigate Haw Par Villa a very long time ago. And I think one thing that he sort of brought to the table was that Haw Par Villa is not really about everything Chinese, but it's actually something that's very multicultural, because when it was Dragon World, I think you have people like Kumar, Gurmit Singh, Ko Cheng Man, people of different ethnic backgrounds, performing at that space itself. So it's a very interesting microcosm of different cultures. Yeah.
Gentlemen, you really are causing us to see some old things in very new light. So thank you so much for your time. We've been speaking with Razvan Ghilic-Micu, Director of Archifest 2021, and Jonathan Poe, Principal Architect at Provolk. Thank you again.